Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the No ID Podcast. It's me, your boy, Rome Davis. I have here an icon in the game. You seen him at the Funny Bone. You seen him on Michael Colliers' morning radio show. He's traveling all around doing comedy. He is one of, I would say, Virginia GOATs, but I don't want to put him in the spot of Virginia because this man has moved outside of the Virginia comedy scene so far. Inspiration for me to get out the Virginia comedy scene. I'm not going to say overrated, underrated, but I am going to say this man is rated funny. The one and only Cletus Cassidy. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? I don't know whether to call you Rome, JD, Mr. Davis. It's your show, so I want to make sure I'm respectful in everything that I do, man. But thank you so much for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate you even giving me the opportunity to bless me with the interview. I was hella nervous trying to end it. Like I
Man,
DM'd you, I emailed you.
Yeah, you was a little bit, you slid into the DMs. It was a little weird. I was like, I don't know what to do. No, I really appreciate it. I think that I got a different kind of mindset with that kind of stuff, man. I'm really approachable. I love when people reach out and talk. I don't have a problem with reaching back and talking to people or sharing my experiences or things like that, man. So I'm honored anytime anybody feels like they want to ask me questions. I'm like, word, let's get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. So let's get right into it. Let's get right
go.
into it. Earlier, like I told you, man, I've seen you all around, but about 2.5 weeks ago was the first time I actually saw you in person, and it was at Ali Siddiq. And when I'm telling you, me and my date were weak as hell when you did the big titty bra joke. You demonstrated, and I like that's what she go through. I just want to know, how did you get your start in comedy? Like, what made you do it?
Man, so my kind of flow in comedy is a little different than a lot of people's. Man, I never grew up wanting to do comedy. I didn't have that as a mind goal. Like, you know how some people wake up every day and they got that sister act too. You wake up in the morning and think you're a singer, then you're a singer. That won't never my thing, man. I went to college to be a gym teacher because I was like, man, who does the most work? I mean, who gets the most money with doing the least work? And I was like, gym teachers. I ain't never seen a gym teacher that was like, man, I had a hard day at work. Man, you throw a ball out, you go sit in the corner, you call it a day. So naturally my personality has always been wit and things of that nature, man. And in fact, I just spoke to a group of people recently, and I let them know that humor for me had always been a defense mechanism. I use it as a defense mechanism, man. Like when I was growing up, we grew up poor because we couldn't afford an OR. That was a lot. So we can get a P and a O, but that OR was a lot, man. We ate at a restaurant called Po Folks. That's exactly what we was with it. So I got joked and different things like that. We grew up in the hood, so I had to use it to fight back. So I had to be able to be smart enough and witty enough to joke with anybody, let anybody know, yo, don't even start it. So it got to a point where I was just that good, and nobody would even. They was like, yo, that ain't the one you want it with. You know what I'm saying? Where you had guys who physically you didn't want it with. They knew verbally, yo, that ain't the one. Like he got on a pair of tonics, man, but just let him live. So that was that. But so it was just a natural progression for me. And I think sometimes the old saying that, we want to walk into a certain path, or we want, God to answer our prayers. Like a lot of times he already got everything set up for us and he's waiting on us to walk into it. And so that's what happened with me, man. Like my stuff just ended up being where I ended up on stage. Like I went to college to be a PE teacher, ended up on the radio. From there, ended up working at BET. From there, BET, just doing a stand-up. Like never been in the classroom to teach. So it's crazy.
Hell yeah, man. And you're a beast on
Man, I
the
appreciate
mic.
that, man.
You're a beast, and
I'm just up there trying to find my niche and just try to do me. I think that's the easiest thing for people. It's like you got to do me. Like I'm on that show you can't see me with. I'm opening for Ali, and to me, Ali Siddiq top 5 in the game right now. You know what I'm saying? So do you get intimidated by that? That's the thing. Do you get intimidated by being on the show with somebody's top 5, or do you try to be like, well, look, man, it's 5 spots. You know what I'm saying? Let me get one of those spots too. So I just try to go up there and do me. And comedy subjective, so either you're gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. But I'm gonna give you the best of me while I'm on that stage. Not gonna be intimidated by it, and that's all I try to do.
That's it. He is top 5. Yeah, top 5. My top 5. You work with him every day. Well, you've been on this show, and I've been on the show. Michael Collier.
Okay.
And how did that come about with Michael
So
Collier on the morning radio show?
Michael Collier, yeah, I'm not on this show anymore. We just kind of split and went, separate ways on that one, man. But we Kobe and Shaq that thing. But Collier has a comedy section that he does on his show daily. Somebody recommended that I do it. He calls me. I pretty much think it's a prank call. I get a phone call. He's like, yo, this is Michael Collier. I was like, yeah. And I'm Denzel Washington. Like, I'm getting that call. He's like, no, really, it's Michael Collier. Man, can you do a set on my show? He's like 3 minutes. And I was like, all right, cool. I didn't know him. He didn't know me. Just out of the blue. I go on there. I killed the 3 minutes. He was like, yo, you killed the 3 minutes. I need you to come back again. I was like, all right, just let me know. He literally called me like that next week. He's like, yo, can you come back again? So I came back again. When I came back that time, he's like, dog, like, I just need you to start coming on more. And so I ended up going from just being a guest to end up being one of the co-hosts and producers of the show. And then kind of traveled and did some dates with him. Not sex, because then I don't want nobody thinking that went wrong. I want to make sure that got in clearly. SETS. Sets. Sometimes it's good to have a southern drawl. Sometimes it ain't. But I ended up going on the road with him for a few shows, man. We did a few cities. And so that's how that just kind of established, man. So that was cool. It was a cool period to be able to do that, man. But I'm doing mine, he's doing his. It's cool, man. But shout outs to Mike Collier, man. Just reaching out. It was on the blur. And that's the thing I tell people, like, be prepared for whatever may come for you. Like, a lot of people don't think they can be prepared for success. You gotta be ready to rock. Like, you gotta be ready to go. When people be like, all right, here's your chance, you gotta be able to take it and run with it.
That's facts. You just gotta walk that path. God got it all figured out for you, because you ain't got it figured out. He already know what you're gonna do.
I was horrible in math, so it ain't my figure is bad, so it ain't no way I'm gonna worry about somebody else's figure. I can't figure nothing out, man. Like, you look at me, I'm barely in this little box, man. You got your whole body in the box on this screen, man. I am barely in here. It's just head and shoulders.
Bro, I'm sitting up right now. I'm trying to hide the COVID belly that's going down right now.
Oh, man, at least yours is COVID belly. Mine was before COVID, but now that I know that we can blame it on COVID, that's what I'm calling mine. I'm like, man, look at this COVID belly. This COVID 36.
COVID 42, man. It's bad.
I'll take it. Whatever it was.
Shit, I feel bad because you got your hat on. I got my hairline showing.
Oh, well, you have a hairline, and that's the whole thing. I do not, man. My hairline and my eyebrows got in a terrible argument, man. And they was like, look, one of us got to go. And so the hairline left, and it's just eyebrows left. So, that's what I do. And I don't fight it, man. Like, no woman is gonna know what's really going on until I'm locked in. You're gonna get a hat on me at all times. Like, I'm going to bed in a hat, I'm waking up, skull caps, everything. Like, it's not until you all the way in, you ain't finna know what's going on underneath here, man. This is an ancient Chinese secret underneath my head, man. I can't do it. I recently went to the hospital, man. This is no lie, man. Before they put me on the ambulance, I was like, yo, let me grab a cap real quick. It's not gonna happen. Because I'm gonna die back here and people know what's going on in my head. No, sir.
Yeah, man. How has the comedy scene been? Because, like I said, you've been around and got to work with a lot of names and still establish your name. How has that been? Have you gotten starstruck yet, or?
Nah, I still am not starstruck yet. So there's two things that happen for me, man. I've worked with every man. Like, if you really name it, DL, DC Curry, Ali Siddiq, just about nephew Tommy. Of course, Kev on stage is a good friend of mine. Kev, Tony Baker, to hear like I've worked with everybody, right? So I don't get starstruck. And I think that when you get starstruck, is when you don't feel like you belong where they are too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So a lot of my esteem has come from, and I'll tell you really who put me in that place. And this is going to sound weird, but it was Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson. I did a show, and like you said, I've been in it a while, so I'm kind of dating myself. One of my first things, I was still in college. Allen Iverson used to have a celebrity softball game. So Allen Iverson has this celebrity softball game. I end up being the host of the celebrity softball game. So at this celebrity softball game, you got Magic Johnson playing, Kevin Garnett, everybody from BET. Like it's a who's who of people for that time frame. So Magic Johnson is at this show, at this game. He's playing in a softball game. At the end of the game, I go down to get Magic Johnson's autograph. And Magic Johnson says to me, dog, why would I give you my autograph? You a bigger star as I am. And I was like, no, because you, first of all, you're Magic Johnson. You're internationally known, locally accepted. Just nobody's having sex with you. But other than that, like, you're Magic Johnson. So that night in the green room, they had an after party that night. We're in the back. They got like a green room for like all the VIPs. At the time, Hits for the Street was on BET. It was a big show. Me and Hits are in there going back and forth. We just playing the dozens. I'm giving him the business. We going back and forth. Like he giving me, I'm coming right back with him. It got so bad, the promoter had to make all the stars leave. He's like, can y'all please go out in this party? Because we done charged all these people. But Magic Johnson, all these people, they all want to sit. Magic Johnson, Kevin Garnett, who's to this day the blackest person I've ever seen in my life. Like, they all wanted to stay in this room to hear me and Hits going back and forth. At this time, Hits got a hit show. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I realized at that point in time, man, you're just as good as they are. They're humans. They shop at Target, Walmart, all that kind of stuff. So I don't necessarily get starstruck. I do appreciate the moments of working with people. Working with Ali, to me, I really appreciated that moment. Because that's my guy. Like I said, I respect him that much. DC Curry, same thing. When I did my show with DC Curry, I was like, dog, I'm in the room with DC Curry. DL Hughley took me out to eat with him afterwards. I'm sitting at the table with DL Hughley. I'm like, dog, I'm sitting at the table with DL Hughley. And he felt that I was enough of his peer to invite me to come eat with him. You know what I'm saying? He invited me to come break bread with him. Now, I don't ever take any of it for granted. I'm a soak up all the knowledge and information I can get from them. I'm still humble around them, but I don't get starstruck, if that makes any sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Now, I'll be honest. I got starstruck when I did a show for DL Hughley last year. Because that's somebody that I studied, whatever the case may have you. But when we met in that green room at the Funny Bone, he just introduced himself like a normal person working at Target. Like he was just like a homie.
He's not an abnormal dude. Like he, at the end of the day, you realize like all of these guys are people. They just have excelled in their careers. Like, you know, nobody walks into McDonald's and be like, oh my God, it's a cashier. You know what I'm saying? Like, if all y'all put on that McDonald's shirt when y'all get in, she ain't like, oh my God, he's on fries. I can't believe I'm talking to the fry guy. Like, if Grimace walk in, you just like, what up, Big G? And you keep it moving, you know?
Big facts.
I would probably, if I had to get starstruck, it would probably be like some musician that I've never worked with or whatever. Like, it would have to be like if Lauryn Hill walked in the room. And I would probably miss her because she'll be like 3 hours late.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that video. She been doing that shit for over 20 years. All right, didn't time.
Right, yeah. I don't know why people go to Lauryn Hill concerts at this point expecting her to be on time. Like, that's on you. Like, at this point, it's your fault for going and expecting her to be on time. But she's still my fave. Like, I would probably get starstruck with Stevie Wonder. If I walk in the room, Stevie Wonder's in the room, I probably wouldn't have nothing to say. I'd probably just be like, and I'd be like, oh my God, don't let them see me.
He'd be like, yeah, I watch your stand up all the time, Cletus. I'm like,
and I'd be like, wow, Stevlin.
Are you still in Virginia? Are you originally from Virginia? Are you still in Virginia?
So I was born in Colorado, man, but raised in Virginia, right in the capital city, Portsmouth. So yeah, still in Portsmouth. People don't believe me when I say I still live in Portsmouth. Like, I still live in Portsmouth, man. I know how to duck and dive, and shoot back when you got to. I have a vision. Without being too deep, my whole thing was, man, I got 2 kids, man. One that I love and one that I'm getting used to, and with my kids, I always had a vision of I'm not going to have to be a father from afar. So people have always been like, yo, you need to move to DC, you need to move to New York, you need to move to LA. And I've been like, but where they gonna be at? You know what I'm saying? So my first priority has always been to them. So I never left. And I've got a vision of, like, if I can make it from here, that's where it's gonna be. And I feel like I can. And I've been blessed to be in a lot of opportunities. And I've lost a lot of opportunities just because I haven't lived in like a LA or New York. But I feel like they'll come back to me.
They definitely will, man. So, you started off at the college. How has the comedy scene been for you as you was going up and getting further along into the game? Because, like I said, you're rated funny in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Man, I
So, like,
appreciate it, man. Comedy is, I've always excelled. Comedy is, it's a weird business. Comedy is one of the only businesses you can get fired at for being good. Being good can really hurt you in comedy because you got a lot of insecure headliners, and I'm talking about like guys that are on the A-list. So you got a lot of guys on the A-list who are really, really insecure and don't want to work with anybody who they think is going to be a threat to what they got going on. They might steal some shine from them on the show. So being mediocre gets you a lot of work in comedy. Like, if you just good enough to not bomb, like, everybody, man, come on, man, open and do all this stuff. But man, if you good, people like, hey, man, you all right, and you'll never hear from them again. So that has been one of the things that's been difficult. There's not a lot of collaboration. Also, the game has just changed. It used to be you had to go through the open mic circuit. Then you had to start hosting, start featuring, and building your business up, building your setup, building your material up. Now it's about, if I can get a hot viral video, I'm in. Like, if you get a hot viral video, man, that 30-second video, people will book you in a heartbeat. I watched Ha Davis, and Ha Davis was like, he didn't understand it. He had to learn the game. Ha Davis was viral funny on social media. One of his first shows was the April Fool's show at Madison Square Garden. He comes out to Madison Square Garden doing that show, and he realizes, oh, no, man, this is different. I got to really do comedy. Like, I ain't got no jokes. I ain't got no material. So he had to go back and get material. So that's one of the things that has changed in the game. But I've done well, man. I've been able to go, man. I think me and my daughter were counting the other day, man, like 29, 30 of the 50 states to do comedy in, both coasts. I've done a lot of things that I've dreamed of. Been on TV, national televised, and even on the social media stuff with Kev on Stage, a sitcom. Done Roland Martin multiple times. So it's been a whirlwind. I'm writing for people that I never thought I would be writing for in a million years. So it's a good time, man.
Yeah, bro. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Like, I say it like this: it's only a few comedians that I really look up to, and I know you're not originally from here, but from somebody from Virginia that's doing what you're doing, salute.
Man, I
Salute.
appreciate it. No, I count it. I mean, man, like, it was 3 years in Colorado. So, Virginia is really still home, man. I went to elementary school, middle school, and high school in Virginia. So Virginia is home. And there's nothing but greatness here. You know what I'm saying? Virginia has homed me and made me who I am. There's so much greatness here. But I want to be one of the greats from Virginia that still is Virginia to the core, and everybody knows that's a Virginia guy. You know what I'm saying? So many times, because Virginia hasn't been put on the map, people look at a lot of our Virginia icons and think they from somewhere else. People look at Pharrell and be like, oh, he gotta be from New York. They look at Missy and they be like, she gotta be from Atlanta or LA. But like, nah, they from right here. And DL Hughley was born in Portsmouth. And he only stayed for like a day, but he was born here. They made that stop at Portsmouth General. That's where he was born. Wanda Sykes is Portsmouth. You know what I'm saying? We've got people who are Portsmouth And I ain't just talking about our athletes is crazy, but Virginia has got so much. And when they say there's something in the water, it's true. It's just we got to make it stick to where people recognize Virginia. I'm working on it. And I ain't talking about DC. So all you DMV people, it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real Virginia.
Real Virginia, yeah, I agree. I think Virginia has a lot of talent, up and coming and established talent. It just gotta, that's the word, work with each other a little bit.
Yeah, we gotta start collaborating, and we gotta realize, man. One of the things I love about LA when I go to LA, right? One of the things I love about LA, you can put people in a room. If there's a writer, an actor, and a photographer or videographer in a room, the writer, the actor, and the videographer can see each other. Be like, yo, look, I write, yo, I act, I record, yo, let's put something together on film. It ain't no question of who's gonna get the credit for, who's gonna get the money for, who's gonna be the big name, nothing. It's like all three of us work, let's put it together. It's together, and then they go about their business. They've learned how to collaborate. That's one of the things we haven't learned how to do. We haven't learned how to be like, let's collaborate. I look at Kevin Hart and the Plastic Cup Boys, right? All of the Plastic Cup Boys are talented in their own right. Naeem, Spank, all of them are talented in their own right, but they realize that if we work with Kev, if we come underneath Kev, he's taking us to places we not be able to take ourselves. So let's collaborate. Let's make Kev shows great. Let's write for Kev. Let's make his stuff pop. And he takes us with him, and all of us are getting to a bigger place. That's the kind of collaboration I'm talking about in Virginia. Like, I want cats to realize we can all get together and do skits. Put together skits that are quality skits. We can get together or write a quality movie. All us work together rather than everybody trying to finagle their own way and only worry about them, man. If we all come together and collaborate, it'll work. If we look at, and I know I'm going long on your podcast, but if you look at even comedy, go back and look at Eddie Murphy's Raw. Eddie Murphy's Raw is produced by Keenan Ivory Wayans. Keenan, at that time, Keenan was still doing his stand-up, and Eddie was doing stand-up. But Keenan is like, yo, let me get in, help my brother get the way he got to get. It's going to come back for me. Kim is in the front. You see Kim if you actually if you ever watch Eddie Murphy's Raw, Kim is one of the people like, I'm here to see Eddie Murphy. Like, that's Kim. That's Kim Wayans, the sister. She's getting FaceTime in there. So now she's getting credits. Everybody is working together. And that's what made them great. Pryor didn't see Murphy as such such competition that he didn't help him. Pryor would give Murphy wisdom. He sit and talk to him. He talked about it. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Murphy talked about it. So now we got cats that if I'm on, I don't want to let you get on. Or, oh man, I ain't talking to Jerome. Like, I ain't going to give him no tidbits. I ain't going to tell him how to do it. That's the wrong way. I should be willing to be like, yo, Jerome got a podcast. Absolutely get on his podcast. Let's push it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care. I got my own podcast. I don't care if your podcast goes great. That's what's meant for you. That's how it should go.
I think everybody wants to be a big fish in a small pond, and they end up drowning.
And then you end up suffocating.
You do.
Let me be a small fish in the ocean with room to grow. You know what I'm saying? We all in this ecosystem. We all go get together. Now, there's going to be some whales out there, man. And you know what? And I probably end up dating all of them. But that's not the point. So, you know, some guys are going to date a barracuda. Some of us are going to end up with a great white. It's going to happen. Give me the beluga.
Give you the beluga? I don't know. I just want the Finding Dory kind of chick.
Just forget everything?
Just forget everything. I'm sorry. I forgot about it.
That's probably the best kind, though, man. Like, I used to want to date Fantasia before she could read. You know, I'd be like, man, I'd be out all week. And she'd be like, where was you at? I'd be like, I left you a note. But that ain't got nothing to do with it. Now that she can read, I don't want her. Like, the next man can have her.
The next man can have her. Yeah. Man, I don't know. There's a lot of... I don't know. I do my own thing, man. I'm silent, and I travel and do my thing. And like I said, you were like one of the inspirations because, like my friend, when we went to see you on at Ali Siddiq. We saw you at Ali Siddiq.
Well, y'all went to go see Ali, and I just happened to be there. That's what happened.
Happened.
But go ahead.
But she was like, I never heard of Cletus. I said, you never heard of Cletus? My homeboy AJ told me about you. I looked you up all over the pandemic, the lockdown. I said, let me tell you something. He's from VA. And she said, I never heard him. I said, I think he was just one of those guys that does his shit, perform, and just bow out. I said, that's exactly what he probably do. And
I'm horrible at promoting myself, man. That's what I know my faults. So, you know, I got to get a team of people that'll do it, man. Like the humility is a hard thing for me. Like I stay humble. I go do my show. Like you don't ever see me. And I see cats. They try to put out, yo, I'm the best in VA. Like I'm the best in the city. Like come holler at me. Like you can't nobody do what I do. And I sit back and I watch. And a lot of stuff that they say that they trying to do, like I did it. Like I've been there. Like nobody from Portsmouth had done chocolate sundaes before me. Like nobody. I've done chocolate sundaes. I've been to LA, done chocolate sundaes, got my time, got my stand ovation. Like I've done all of that. Like so now when people say that they going, like I'm the first one, you're not. You're just the first one to go and brag and boast about it. But I've been known in LA. I've been all over the country. You know what I'm saying? That's on me though. A lot of people got that Deion Sanders attitude. Like they gonna get out there, hey, everybody look at me. But are you winning though? That was my fault. Deion's winning in his heart.
I'm about to say, you know, they just lost 4 straight. A little tough, right?
He's 4-6. It's crazy out there.
But it's more Buffs. Games. Go Buffs. If you listen to it, coach.
He can send us all the money you want, Deion. Must be the money. Turning me on. Must be the money. Yeah, we remember that. He can't live that down, but we remember it.
Actually, you know what? I was listening to that at work today. I have no rhyme or reason to even lie to you until.
So what's worse? What's worse? Deion Sanders with Must Be the Money or Eddie Murphy with Party All the Time?
I actually like Party All the Time.
My girl likes to party all the time.
If you want to,
I don't know what Eddie was on. But I hope he never gets on it again.
If you want to see something that's bad, look up the song he did with Michael Jackson. What's up with it?
I saw that. That whole singing career. Now, by far, I think the most talented individual probably walking this earth right now is Jamie Foxx.
Facts.
It's just like Jamie Foxx is one of the few people that can find himself top 5 in multiple categories. If you want to be like voice, if you want to be like music, you can easily put Jamie top 5 because he sings, he plays, writes. You can easily put Jamie top 5 music. Comedy, you can easily put Jamie in his stand-up top 5. When you start talking about like a part of his career that a lot of people look over is Jamie does impressions. So if you want to be like impressions, you can put Jamie up there. Then the acting, you can put Jamie up there. Like he plays pickleball, which is probably right now my favorite sport. Like you can't miss what Jamie is doing. Jamie had it mastered. Eddie, though, he shouldn't have sung. But when you got enough money and you got people around you that's just going to be like, yes, that's how you end up with that album.
He did reggae for a couple of years, too.
They be like, man, Eddie, you killing them, dog. You sound just like you from the island. 1, 2, 3, Eddie. No, you should have. Somebody should be friend enough with Eddie that been like, nah, cuz no, Edward. That's what they should have brought out. They should be Edward Murphy. No,
he did reggae. You know how you go on Instagram sometimes, man. They got like something on those full page, and I did not know he did a song Michael Jackson until today, and I did not know he did reggae until like a couple of years ago, and I looked it up. And Eddie, I love you. I think you the GOAT. You, Seinfeld are my top 2. But
Edward Reagan Murphy. Stop it.
Hell
That's his middle name is Reagan.
Edward
Reagan Murphy.
I was like, shit.
Stop it.
Shit, but his genius is impeccable. I hate to go on like an Eddie rant, but like yesterday I was watching I Spy with him and Owen Wilson. That movie from when he was a boxer in like 2002 or whatever.
Great. He's got
Great.
a movie, Mr.
Church.
Like I'm in Mr. Church, like, yo, who is like his acting is top notch. Just don't sing. Edward Jimmy Got Soul. Listen, that role in Dreamgirls was made for him. An album? No. Let Jennifer Hudson sing an album. Let Beyonce. You were not here for that. That's not why you were here, Edward. Edward Reagan Murphy. Stop it. Don't sing no more. He can date all the singers he wants. He was married to a Spice Girl. He dated Johnny Gill, but just don't sing anymore. My bad. I said to dating. I don't know if he was dating Johnny Gill. Johnny was just living in the pool house.
Yeah, he was Johnny Gill's ex-wife.
Right.
Johnny Gill's ex-wife. Shit. Just a pivot. Now you see a lot of people doing comedy. You see everybody doing comedy. They going from transition from skits to stand up to skits, and even music to stand up. How is there ever been like a moment like, man, this guy should just stop outside of Edward Reagan Murphy doing music? Has he ever been anybody like, it might not pivot for him a little bit? He might want to focus on something else, or do you like, just keep going?
Don't quite curl. I say it all the time. So, but here's the thing about comedy. First of all, comedy is subjective. So just because I don't think it's funny doesn't mean that there isn't a group of people out there. You just got to find a group of people that thinks whatever you do is funny. I'm a comedy purist. Like, I study comedy. So I know the difference between stand-up comedy, physical comedy, storytelling, slapstick, all of those different things. Like, I'm into the rules of three. I know what callbacks are. Like, I can physically tell people what the formulation of a joke is, but I can't tell you how to be funny, right? I think that one of the problems that we have now is that there's two different levels of comedy and people aren't differentiating between the two. There never used to be the advent of social media. Social media, I say, is always a double-edged sword. The good thing about social media is it gives everybody a voice. The bad thing about social media is that it gives everybody a voice, right? It's a whole lot of people you shouldn't be hearing from. So now, because of social media, there weren't ever really amateur comedians when we were growing up, right? Or back in the day. There was if you got into comedy, you got into comedy because that's what you were trying to do. Now you got people who just dibble and dabble. They do it just to get some views. We just trying to be silly on film so that I can get views. The more views I get, the social media pay me a check. Like, so now you see a lot of people doing stuff that it really wasn't before. And that's in all of the different lanes and genres of comedy. So like when people are doing parodies, I ain't mad about people doing parodies. I just want you to be good at it. And if you're going to do any of those things, to me, go be a professional about it. Really get into it, because I take the craft seriously. But a lot of people don't. They just out there, they be like, yo, dog, I can make some money real quick. Let me throw anything on film, and I'm there. Let me just get on stage. Let me go to a comedy class real quick. Oh, like cats graduate, and you know, I don't want to disparage you if this is your story, but cats will go to a comedy class, and they'll go to a comedy school. They'll graduate on Tuesday. Wednesday night, they done started a room at El Taco Loco. And I'm like, dog, you not ready for that yet. Like, you haven't paid any dues. You haven't learned the game. You ain't even got you no material yet. It's not time for you to be at El Taco Loco. And then El Taco Loco is not even a venue that's ready for comedy. Like, we disrespecting the game by just throwing it up in the lobby of McDonald's. Like, that's not what we need to do. So what I see in the 757 that hurts me is I'll see 25 people try to do a room per week. And everybody's got the same 7 comedians. Now y'all all doing these shows, the same 7 comedians. Y'all all getting in. It's either get in free or it's $5. And then when you try to put on a show and you be like, hey, I got $25 tickets. And you be like, why won't nobody pay for my $25 ticket? Because I saw you every day this week. at El Taco Loco for free or for free beers. Listen, if we get together, right, we can create a comedy scene. We get together, we say, look, we only gonna have one mic. It's only gonna be one open mic, and it's gonna be in a nice place. We're gonna get everybody to go there. And guess what? You can't get on that mic every week. If you're gonna come to that mic, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do well with it. You're gonna work, but you ain't coming back for like 3 weeks. Now we're gonna rotate in 5 or 6 people. That way we don't have people doing comedy marathons where the open mic is 74 people getting 3 minutes apiece. Who wants to sit through that? I love comedy and I'm not sitting through that. Now, if we cut it down to 10 people getting 10 minutes apiece and they can actually get in there, now you got comics coming in and actually being able to work on material. Because I got 10 minutes. I can work. I can learn the whole game. I can learn how to come in with an open. I can learn how to close. I can learn how to do side crowd work because I've actually got time. 3 minutes, I get to work on a joke. Maybe 2, depending on what type of style you have. Hey, cut it down. Let everybody come in. But that takes people thinking outside of the box and thinking about me. I want a room at El Taco Loco. Calm down. Let's make the whole comedy scene better. Then we'll be better. And we become one of those cities like DC, New York, where people come and they know, oh, it's good comedy here. It's great comedians here. And when we actually train our comedians and get them worked up, we can send them anywhere and everybody knows, oh, no, if it's a comic coming from the 7-5, he gonna be fired. Because people talk. Like, I go other places. I'll go to other cities and they'll be like, yo, Clee, yo, we had this go. I will never forget comedian Hamburger. Hamburger came here. He did a show. After the show, Hamburger calls me. He's mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, I wasn't on the show. He's like, yo, why are you not training these young cats up? He said, man, I was on the show with these cats. And I can't take none of these cats to New York. I can't take none of these cats nowhere. They not ready. And he said, it's up to you as an old head to get them together. And I'm like, dog, they don't listen to me. I was like, these guys already know. They know everything. They took a comedy course or they saw a video, and now they got a room at El Taco Loco. Dog, it was 15 people at their last show. You can't tell them nothing, cuz. It's crazy.
It really is, man.
My fault. That was just me letting it out, man. You allowing me to
It's
get it off my chest, my ample bosom.
I've been doing it 4 years, and I had 2 years in the lockdown. So I've seen it, and I've seen people go in. I've seen people flame out, and I'm like, it's perks to having a room, and then it's downsides to having a room. Perks is you get to perform. Downside is you don't get to perform. So if like an opportunity comes up on the day that you have that room, you gotta find somebody to host. You can't find nobody to host, then you missed out on a golden opportunity to actually go towards another market, like a whole demographic. Like, I'm not known, so I'll take a chance on any room. Friday I did this past Friday I did Suffolk Arts and it had an open mic. Tomorrow, or when this podcast come out Wednesday, I have one at Amber Music Hall. Thursday, I got an audition with AGT. Friday, I'm back in the open mic again. Saturday, I'm at an open mic. Sunday, I'm at an open mic. But I never wanted my own room because I feel like that kind of slows my progression because I can't focus on my jokes. I got to do hosting all the time. I may get some improv in there, but it's this you burn out your comedians.
You got to promo. You got to do all that stuff. And so for me, let me say this. I don't want to discourage you in any way. Like if you're doing these mics, I think what you're doing is not so you got people who are just stage hungry, right? Mm-hmm. They just want to get onto a microphone. There's a difference between doing it with a plan. Like you thought this thing through. You doing this because I need to work on my material. I need to get better. I'm doing this audition. I'm working this material. I'm getting here, and I'm building up my name. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you having that kind of philosophy. Like this is part of my work. This is part of my training. I'm talking about the people who be like, dog, I've trained all I need to train. I right now, I'm top 5 in the game as I've been doing this for 36 minutes. Give me El Taco Loco. Like, no, dog. Like, calm down. There's still so much for you to learn, so much you're going to experience. Like I knew what I was going to do. I even had a strategy. Like the first time I did a show in Philly, like I don't even think I charged the dude to bring me to Philly. Like he was like, yo, I want you to come do this show in Philly. I probably was like, yo, give me 2 cheesesteaks. I'm there. But there was a purpose in it. Because I knew that when I went to go do this show in Philly, I knew once I'm seen, I'm in now. You know what I'm saying? So the same guy called me later. He was like, yo, I want you to do this show. And I was like, yo, this is what the price is now. He's like, oh, man, I was the first one to bring you to Philly. True. But I was banking on me. I just needed to be introduced to Philly. You know what I'm saying? So I need to do that. Have strategies, have goals. Sit there and look, see where you want to be and what you want to do. It's cats is doing comedy right now, and you go back and ask them, well, what do you want to do in comedy? Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? What are your goals? And yeah, never knew there was gonna be a question like that. Dog, it should be. What are your goals? If it's a financial goal, if it's a placement goal, if it's just an accomplishment goal, achievement goal, you should have some goal that you're working with, even in your comedy. If you want to just be like, man, I want to be able to say that I got an hour of material. That's a goal. You know what I'm saying? If you're like, man, I got 5 minutes right now. I just want to get to 15 solid. That's a goal. That's when I know that you progressing and you really trying to do this thing, man. You should have goals. Sure. My bad if I don't got up here got preaching, man. My bad.
You okay? You okay? Because my thing is when I start hitting all the mics is the reasons because I either got something big coming up or I got a show coming up. And that's why I hit up all the mics I can. My goal in comedy is just to be great. I have done 30 minutes. I have done this. Do I feel like I'm the best in the 757? Hell no. Nah, because I don't want to limit myself. Like coming up 4 years, I got OG by a couple of people in the game. Joe Willis, Lionel Harris, Rondell Wood, a couple of people was OGing the hell out of me. I was like, what the hell? No, I'm great. I'm doing it. Man, I learned so much in them 4 years and in the lockdown, a lot more in that lockdown. And the writings changed. But like I think once I had a buddy when I was first, we was coming up together. He was getting T-shirts made. He was getting merchandise made up, and I'm like, bro, this is my first year. This is our first year, and he got T-shirts made up. He hitting up the local TV station to try and get a showcase on the local TV station, and I'm looking at him like, man, I don't think this shit gonna go the way that you want it to go, because we went to comedy school and we only knew about one mic at the time, and that was Kazi's. And I was like, bro, like, nah. And I was like, we can't keep performing the same material. I started going out, and I got humbled a couple of times. I had some bad mics, but I've been on the streak now. I've been on a good year and a half, going on 2 year streak of just straight, no bombing and focusing, because I got to send, I got to study. And like you were saying earlier, observational comedy, surreal comedy, political comedy, satire comedy, so many different variations. Crowd work. I think TK Kirkland's the king of crowd work, in my opinion.
Now your boy's working them now, and just because Matt Rife is killing it now.
Yeah.
They different levels though. The way that TK does crowd work is, it'll get you killed. Matt Rife will do, go viral. TK is just the ultimate in disrespect. I mean, I love it though. But then, but like people forget TK Kirkland's like 89 years old. Like people don't know that about him. Like he stay in great shape. He talks sharp. Yeah. So, but TK's dope.
TK's dope. Matt's dope. Matt has.
And people think his rise is mediocre, but he been at this since he was like 15, 16 years old. Matt Rife has been working, and he just finally got his break. And so that's the thing, man. Like, I think people just got to you got to keep pushing. You got to keep doing what you got to, you doing. I love to see the drive and the determination in people, man. I want to see them to keep going. And keeping the first thing, man, is being funny, getting good material, and being solid in yourself. I had somebody, man, they hated me from the moment they met me, like, because they very first show, they came and they had all kinds of merch made. They like, I'm doing my first show. I was like, dog, you got to worry about being funny first. People ain't gonna want to buy your merch if you're not funny. Like, that's got to be your first goal. Like, you can have all the t-shirts, cups, hats, baby rattles, all you want, man. And if you ain't funny, people ain't gonna buy it. Like, your first thing is, let me get my material down. Let me learn how to be funny first. And then you can start worrying about getting merch and stuff, man. Like, some of the best don't have no merch. Ali don't sell no merch. I was just worried about being funny.
See, you dropped a lot of jewels on this interview. And like I said, I appreciate it, man, because I ain't gonna lie. I was like, man, I don't think he gonna show up to the interview.
Oh no, man. If I say so, I'm about one of the things you'll find out about me, man. The more that you're around me, the more that you talk to me, I'm a big relationship person, man. I put relationship usually over finance and all that kind of stuff. So I really believe that the energy that you put out to people is the energy that you get back. So I try to make sure that I'm good to people. If somebody reaches out and say, "Can you come?" If I say yeah, I'm gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I say let me think about it, there's a good chance I'm not gonna come. Or I'll try. If I hit you with a I'll try, that's gonna be rough. But man, you stayed on it. You was like, yo. I was like, well, what you talking about? What day? He's like, yo, I'm talking about Tuesday, 8:30. What up? I was like, oh, he real then. Okay, all right, yeah, I'm in then. So yeah, man, I appreciate you reaching out, man.
Yeah,
Word.
man. Yeah, man.
Yep.
Hey, man, I had to come correct. I had to come correct. So,
Yeah, and I appreciated it.
I appreciate you, brother. I about to say I got a show on the 25th on Black Friday. If you want to pull up, man.
Man, you got Black Friday, then I'm right there and right after you, man. So you got Black Friday. I got the 26th
Funny Bone.
at Funny Bone. Yeah, the 26th, man. Hit me up, man. I'll let you get a guest spot, man. Get you. I ain't that type of dude that's gonna lie to you, man. So you hit me up, man. I'll be like, man, you can get a 3 to 5. I'll put you on sight unseen, man. So yeah, that's if you're available. That's the
Yeah,
Sunday
yeah.
after, man.
I'm
Yep. So
available.
my man Anthony Oakes out of DC is hosting. Comedian Stiletto out of Maryland is going to come and feature. Then I'm a headline. I'm gonna do an hour. It's one night only, so it's gonna be fun, man. Because it's gonna be a little bit different, but it's gonna be fun. Like I'm not a good time. I'm working up. I'm gonna do a special. I'm shooting a special April 6th of next year. So we trying to work some of the not the material for the special, but some of what's going on for the special. You just got to kind of be there, man. So everybody that's listening, man, not only do I want you to support this man, but you come out and support me, man, on the 26th, that Sunday. And if y'all support him, man, he'll be out there too at the Funny Bone, getting the good spot here.
Man, appreciate that, brother.
Absolutely.
Man, make sure y'all follow this man, Cletus Cassidy. It's Cletus Cat.
Yep.
It's Cletus
At
Comedy.
Cletus Comedy on everything, man. At Cletus Comedy on Twitter, Facebook. It's branding. It's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Christian Mingle, all of them, man. You can find me right there, man. Yep.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all follow me, Comedian Rome, on all social media platforms.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Hell nah. Hell nah. Hell nah. You follow me, I follow back. That's my thing, because I got to show
Got
love
to.
back. Go ahead and sign on off. Gonna stop.